Hey traders, TG Watkins here, and welcome to your free video. It is April 6th, and now that we are past the first quarter, there's a statistic that has come out, and it's saying that if the S&P returns greater than 7% gain in the first quarter, that history says it has a 100% chance of being positive a year later, and pretty significantly positive. So we'll have to see if this stat works and if it continues. Also, just keep in mind we have no idea what the path might be. We know that the market has been challenging lately, so it's not necessarily going to be straight up and to this point, but there are some interesting numbers that talk about this. Now, another thing with that is I had a market update webinar March 1st, and you can find that here. We have a link for you as well, and also you can find it on the Simpler Trading YouTube page, so go check it out. It was a little bit tough to make this and have these kind of calls that I was talking about, seeing something basically bullish in the market, and then literally less than a week later, the banking financial crisis happened. So I just want to say this has actually been holding up pretty well if you guys want to go back and look at it and see some of the information that I had in there. And with that, talking about the kind of banking financial stuff, I'll show you the IWM and the XLF, because we've definitely saw them really get hit recently. Now the question is this the beginning of a big breakdown? Like, are we finally going to break down and go lower? I will be hesitant to say that and caution anybody who's thinking that, partly because if we look, there has been this trend line that I've had here drawn for months at this point, and we have now crossed over that trend line, and now we've pulled back to that trend line. So this trend line that used to be resistance going down is now potentially support going up. So do keep that in mind. The other thing to keep to look at here is that anytime price has gotten very oversold like this, it tends to at least move back up. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a big rip-roaring rally or move, or if it's going to be stifled or anything else like that, or if at worst case scenario it goes sideways, runs into the underside of a downtrending daily 50 and then moves lower. That's possible also. But just for right now, we need to kind of keep this in mind, that it has a history of when it gets kind of really oversold like this, it does tend to migrate back up, if for nothing else, a reversion to the mean. So if you're bearish, maybe wait a little bit and look for a little bit better entry. I am seeing some signals that this might actually want to be moving up. So then we can also talk about the XLF. And as I said, I made that market video that was kind of leaning bullish, and then a few days later we got this big move in the XLF. I'm like, ooh, let's see how my video holds up. So far it's doing all right. And I would say the same thing here about the XLF that I did about the IWM, that is, look, when it gets really oversold like this, even this little one, it does tend to at least migrate back up. Now, as I said, the question is it going to be like this to where it's an oversold move up into the underside of a downtrending daily 50 and it continues going lower? It's possible. But the 50 is up here, so if it is going to go lower, it seems like it's going to have to go sideways to higher first. This seems like an awfully big gap for price to continue moving down before having to go up and then maybe down, if that's what it's going to do. Otherwise, we can see it maybe come up, kind of do some stuff, and maybe it goes higher. So stay nimble, but like right now doesn't seem exactly like the best place to be getting short. The other thing I wanted to show, looking at the Dow, we saw that this last week things really got overbought. A very, very big move to the upside. Now the question was this going to fail? Was this overbought? And do you short the top and all that kind of stuff? Well, I was looking at that. I was looking at that gap between price and the hourly 50, looking for price to come back down. But you know what? It's not doing that. It looks like it's literally flagging sideways, waiting for the moving average to come up. Because remember, price can be, this overbought condition can be fixed either by time or price. And it looks like it's being fixed with time. And we could see a similar situation back over here, right here, and right here, where price fixed its overbought condition via time and just went sideways waiting for that moving average. So it seems as though it's going to be a little bit more along those lines. Now, going off and looking at some individual names and talking about, okay, well, what does everything else look like out there? Now, I want to show you some names that have been doing well, and let's talk about what the common factors are in some of these names that have moved up. Well, here's ON, and what you'll notice is price is over and ran into and bounced off of the monthly 10. You have the Moxie price trigger right there. You have the 8 over the 21, and you have price over the weekly 50. Nice move, right? So start looking at these higher time frame charts, because what I'm seeing is that there is a change, that there are a lot of names that have been doing this, basing for quite some time, and they are finally starting to move up. And what are those common features? So another one, NRDS, and you can see here, what do we have? Moxie price trigger on the weekly chart. You have price over and following the monthly 10, and you have price back over the weekly 50 and starting to use all of that stuff for support. And you could see even this one, before it started moving, what did it do? It started going sideways, started putting in the base. So, and then we have MNDY, which is another one that I'm looking at. Not all of these have moved yet. I'm not saying that we are in a rip-roaring bull market or anything else like that. What I'm saying is a lot of these names have already based, apparently have based, and now they're at least in position to go higher if they are ready to, or if the market allows them to, whatever the situation is. But we're looking at this and you can see same thing, price over the monthly 10. Here's the Moxie price trigger, and you can see you have the 8 over the 21 and all that kind of stuff, and it's trying. So we'll have to just see if it starts to work out. Now another one, if we go over to Google, as kind of just showing you guys, hey, here's even a big name that is starting to work out. You can see again, price is over the monthly 10. You have the 8 over the 21. You do have price over the 30, and for now we do have price over the weekly 50. Now this might just be the first move, so be careful. There can still be major pullbacks as this thing works its way through. But the fact is, it is making progress compared to last time where it got rejected by the weekly 50. And then another one that I was kind of looking at, Squarespace. And again, what are the common factors? Price over the monthly 10, is basing here. There's the Moxie price trigger, and then you can see price was starting to get over these moving averages on the higher time frames. So, I know sometimes we get really, because we like to be either day trading or very short-term trading, because that's kind of what's been happening with the market. But start zooming back a little bit, look at these higher time frames, and take a look and see if you can figure out that there are some new trends that are starting to warm up out there. The other thing is, if you guys are interested how I talk about the market and how I look at stuff, and if you like the Moxie indicator, whatnot, come over. You guys can get a 30-day trial for $7. You can also pick up the Moxie indicator for yourself. So see you guys, see you around. Thanks.
Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.